Now, I think conventionally South Korea has been a peninsular power that is very focused on its own near abroad, obviously with the relationship with North Korea. Increasingly, though, what we're seeing from Seoul and President Moon is a new southern strategy which would seek to extend South Korea's diplomacy. They have incredible latent influence in Southeast Asia. If you only have to think about the soft power of Korean soap operas, music, pharmaceutical industry in the rest of Asia. And yet, it's not, South Korea has not traditionally been a very strategically minded player in Southeast Asia. That is now changing. So President Moon and South Korean diplomacy has made progress in the last year in terms of our index. I think it's also worthwhile remembering that South Korea is still a very formidable military player in its own right, as a conventional military rival to the nuclear-armed North Korea. And other areas where it has strengths include its economic relationships. So you can consider the fact that it has significant investments in Southeast Asia. But as I say, it's still new in the game of middle power diplomacy, and we'll see how that evolves. The other interesting development for South Korea has been the kind of backseat role, but very influential role that President Moon has taken in terms of trying to foster this détente between the US and North Korea. And there's a question there about whether he's marginalized himself from the process. It's certainly the case that the US alliance, the depth of South Korea's alliance with the United States may have suffered a little bit from the fact that joint training exercises now no longer take place on the Korean Peninsula, which was an early concession made by Donald Trump. And North Korea is no further along to being to committing to denuclearization. So, in essence, many of the same old dilemmas apply, and it's an open-ended question as to whether President Moon's diplomacy has actually improved South Korea's standing and resilience and security. Time will tell. North Korea is a fascinating country. There's no way we would not have included it in the index. It's such a unique and particular kind of actor on the global and regional stage. And that also presents some methodological challenges in terms of finding the data required to cover North Korea among the countries we do. What we have managed to do is, over the process of 2 years, find most of the data points we needed, about 85%. The remaining 15% is on the basis of imputations, where we make estimates with the help of other experts in particular fields, so estimates on R&D spending, military spending for R&D, and the rest. Now, the results are quite interesting because North Korea is ranked 16th overall. What we see is that North Korea is a very formidable military player in the region. It's obviously got its nuclear weapons, but it's also a formidable conventional player. At the same time, it's a very asymmetric power, where, for example, its economy is smaller than Laos, even though North Korea has 4 times the population of Laos. So it has huge strengths, but also enormous weakness. That is very evident in the results that we see. But Kim Jong-un has played a weak hand very well, and he's really made the most of this year of summit diplomacy with Donald Trump. The red carpet treatment in Singapore and in Vietnam has also resulted in a partial normalization of North Korea's diplomatic standing in Southeast Asia. It wasn't that long ago that Kim Jong-un's brother was killed in a Malaysian airport in a public space, but the relationship between North Korea and Southeast Asia is improving. And so the secondary effects of that kind of US détente are evident, and North Korea jumped 5 places in terms of its ranking for diplomatic influence, albeit from a low base. And in terms of our overall assessment of its power, it's now ahead of the Philippines. As I say, very asymmetric, very unique to the region.